Almost everyone has seen the commercials or the TV shows like Animal Cops Houston. The broken, beaten, nearly dead animals, mostly dogs, that families buy from the pet store or online breeders because puppies or kittens are so cute, and their child or spouse so desperately wants an animal. But then the puppy turns into a fully grown dog, much bigger than expected, or sometimes much smaller than expected, and the kitten turns into a fully grown cat, with the opposite personality that it had as a kitten. The family either no longer wants the dog or cat, or can no longer take care of them, such as feeding them or paying for their vet bills, so they choose to do one of two things. One, they take the animal to the shelter and leave it to hopefully find its forever home. Or they put the animal outside to fend for itself. My name is Rachel, and I'm going to talk about the problems facing the pets of the United States. First, I'm going to outline the problem. The American Pet Products Association estimated that 78 million dogs and 85.8 million cats are owned in the United States. Of those pets, 34% of dogs were purchased from a breeder, and 3% of cats were purchased from a breeder. 23% of dogs were obtained from an animal shelter or humane society, and 31% of cats were obtained from the shelter. The ASPCA says that approximately 6.5 million companion animals enter U.S. shelters every year. Of those, approximately 3.3 million are dogs and 3.2 million are cats. Now, dogs and cats aren't the only ones that get taken to the animal shelter. You also have horses, guinea pigs, rabbits, and any other animal that you can think of. So when I was in Monterey, California, I took my mom and dad to the animal shelter to go visit the dogs. Absolutely love dogs and wanted to adopt one. But there were about 6 horses that were there. One of those horses looked like he had been beaten pretty badly. He had scars all over his body. Now, I'm speculating that he was beaten, however, he could have gone through a fence, but that horse needed to be taken care of by somebody who was going to love him. According to the ASPCA, only about half of the animals that are taken to the shelter are adopted each year, 3.2 million approximately, 1.6 million dogs, and 1.6 million cats. So what happens to those animals who do not get adopted? Well, over the years we have gotten a little better, and since the 1970s, according to the Humane Society, euthanasia numbers have declined sharply in animal shelters, from about 15 million cats and dogs euthanized in 1970 to approximately 3.4 million in 2013, even as pet ownership has increased. But the Humane Society also states that about 2.4 million healthy adoptable cats and dogs, about 1 every 13 seconds, are put down in U.S. shelters every year. That is 2.4 million animals that can be adopted. As stated before, we have gotten a little better. According to Andrew N. Rowan, Ph.D., in the 1970s, shelters euthanized 100 cats and dogs for every 1,000 people. At the time of his article in 2009, that was down to about 12.5 per every 1,000 people. Now, many people think that we can do better, and we can, and eliminate euthanasia in animal shelters altogether. Others believe that there are specific reasons why animals should be put down. CBS News stated in their story that 7 in 10 pet owners say they believe animal shelters should be allowed to euthanize animals, but only when they are too sick to be treated or too aggressive to be adopted. Now, many of those think that there are aggressive breeds out there, and there may be, but the animal shelters are well known for knowing which dogs are aggressive and which ones are not. Finally, the solution to the overpopulation, overcrowding, and the euthanasia in animal shelters. First solution, adopt. Make sure that you are not going to those pet stores. Those pet stores may not take care of those dogs very well, and the animal shelters will. There are also organizations out there that will help you when you want to adopt. Find one of those organizations who assist those who want to adopt pets instead of purchasing them. In his 2015 article, Kind Streets, Michael Sharp discusses the organization Pets for Life. This organization provides accessible and affordable pet care. In one U.S. city, Pets for Life has served 30,000 pets, provided 19,635 free free spay or neuter surgeries and performs 69,338 additional pet care services. As stated before, find one of those services and spay or neuter your pets. Bob Barker said it every time during The Price is Right. Spay or neuter your pets. Take Bob's advice. Third option, foster. There are many animals in those shelters that need to go into a more of a home setting than the animal shelter. And you can take them in and eventually adopt them if you so choose to. Before you get a pet of any kind, do your research. There are many online breeders who are very credible, but there are some online breeders who are not. Same with the pet stores. Having a companion pet who is considered a designer pet may seem wonderful, but there are so many animals who are waiting for someone to give them that forever home and just want you to treat them as part of the family. These pets are waiting in animal shelters or even possibly outside someone's home on a chain, just waiting to be rescued. Those animals who are in overpopulated shelters who do not have the no-kill policy are living on borrowed time. They are waiting to be adopted, fostered, or euthanized. So if you're looking for a pet, check the local shelters for that new addition to the family. Or if you don't want a pet, please donate to your local shelter, the ASPCA, or to the Humane Society of the United States. It only takes a few dollars to save the life of one pet.